Time is both a gift and currency. We all have been given 168 hours. You could have been taught how to do something that demands you incorporate business in your journey. But you may have not been skilled in acquiring people skills, only to find yourself having the skill to open the business that should bring about success for you, but your people skills have never been developed. And so you don't understand the importance of community, you don't understand it.
And then the community itself.
If I'm a 5, guess who I'm gonna more than likely hang around? 1, 2s, and 3s.
I enjoyed the seminar today. It was very informative. It will help me improve my life as I move forward in my next phase of life.
And there's an encouragement and a level of accountability.
I really enjoyed the class today. And this is the next season of my life. And this is very helpful for me because I'm an empty nester. And now it's all about Tina and where I should be going. And this is very helpful to me.
Because once you go into denial and excuses, you imprison yourself from all possibilities. Wow. Anybody have ever met somebody when they open their mouth, you say, well, I can't help you. The more you understand your vision in life, meaning this is what I'm trying to do in the next year, it determines what time you go to bed. It determines what time you get up. It determines what book you read. When life purpose is not discovered, life then is not appreciated at its best. Why? You disregard a lot of things. For a person who don't know their purpose, a day don't have meaning.
Coach Ricardo delivered information that was educational, that's beneficial, and his content is always good. I want to encourage everyone, if you have not connected with the Effective Living community, you are missing out on abilities to evolve and grow. You becoming better each and every day.
As long as you're holding on to blame and denial, you'll never live life effectively.
Welcome back to Effective Living Early Morning Conversation. This morning we're diving in with one of the best, man. This is a woman who is passionate about all that she put her hands to, and she's back with us here on Effective Living. Now, what most people don't know, you can actually watch us live on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Now, guess what? He always jumps in and gives us the most greatest questions, conversational pieces. I mean, unlike anybody else. And so I'm so glad to have Andrea back with us. How are you doing this morning, lady?
Good morning, Coach Ricardo. I am very well. Thank you. And thank you for inviting me back.
Hey, listen, you know what they say about being invited back. That means, the first time is my chance. We go see, okay? We're going to see. But no, you're a blessing. And I'm grateful for our friendship. We've known each other for a while, and we came from the same high school, not in the same year, but the same high school. Aaron Bailey, Pacers for Life.
Yes, and I don't think we ever met when we were in high school.
No. I think you were interested in your books, and I was interested in trying to take people money from the lunch line or something of that sort.
No. Well, we wouldn't have crossed paths then. I was in the back area, and you probably were in the front by the auditorium.
Let me ask you, were you a prefect? Were you inside one of them GCE classes? Were you one of those people who, teacher's pet kind of person?
Well, I was a prefect, and I can't say I was a teacher's pet up to a certain point until I got pregnant and then my teachers turned on me, but that's another story.
Oh man, teachers could turn on you. But you see that I hit the nail on the head. I could see you was a prefect. If you were in Aaron Bailey and you were a prefect, if you were in any government school in the Bahamas and you were a prefect, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. But I'm of the belief that as we're living, we should be learners. And the longer you live, the more you should commit to being a lifelong learner. Today, I want to talk about managing your life. Now, Andrea, you're a project manager, management professional. Talk to us about what you do as a profession.
Okay, well, I am a certified project management professional. All that means is that I have a PMP certification from the Project Management Institute. I'm also a certified Scrum Master, which is a different type of project manager. It's just a different framework, and that's from the Scrum Alliance. And I'm also a certified Agile leader. And I could go on and on about all the different letters behind my name, but I'll just stop at those ones. And I'm actually a practicing Agilist. So I'm an Agile practitioner. That means that I subscribe to everything Agile, and I'm always looking for ways to improve in every area of my life using Agile and agility principles.
Wow. Wow. Principles. I like that. You know, the late Dr. Miles Monroe wrote in his book, he says, principles are like lighthouses. They don't change. They don't move. They're always there. Principles can be relied on. Growing up, being educated in the Bahamas, making a commitment to be a lifelong learner, where did you find that passion and that commitment to just continue to grow and engage yourself in continual education?
Well, I think it started from a very young age. I am the middle child of 15 of us. It's 15.
Whoa.
15 children that my father had, and I'm the plump in the middle. I'm the seventh. Am I the eighth? I'm the eighth. So it's 7 above me, 7 younger than me, and I'm plump in the middle. And so growing up with my siblings, you know, they would always want to play dolly house or hide and seek or jacks or socking or hopscotch. And I'm like, no, let's go play school. I always wanted to play school. And in fact, I remember my sisters and we would go dumpster diving in the Seventh-day Adventist school trash bin to get out their textbooks that they would throw away. And we would use those to play school. And so I always enjoyed playing school with my siblings. And of course, I always wanted to be the teacher.
Yes.
Because I always felt like, hey, I'm the brightest tool in the shed. But, you know, they may question that. But I always had a passion for learning, and I always enjoyed reading. And I enjoyed language and literature a lot in school.
Yeah. Now you mentioned, oh my goodness, those games, hopscotch and socket. I haven't heard the term socket in probably 20 years. And socket, those were the real games back in the day.
Yes, that's when children actually played outside, and we had fun playing baseball with all the neighborhood kids. And you know, we used to go shooting birds. I was a tomboy, so all of those things that tomboys did. I climbed the trees. I played soccer with the boys, and we played jacks and hopscotch. So those were fun times.
Wow. That's man, you just took me back just there. I just really took me back. But you said that even playing school, you can see that. It's like, Lord Jesus, did she just refer to a game as playing school? You know, you can tell she's a brainy. She's a little bit more interested in the books than just being loud, wild, and crazy. But let's talk about this. You know, you are where you are now. You could have fizzled off, and you could have been like most people, just simply overwhelmed and frustrated because of how life played itself out. But you've chosen to take the wheel by force and say, you know what, I'm going to construct a life that I want. Let's talk about the decision you've made over the years to manage your life. What was that like? Because you're a mom, you're a person of faith and actively engaged in your church. You've been investing and helping young people. I mean, you're highly skilled. You bake, right?
Yes.
Last time I heard, I mean, you're one of those people during the holiday season. Everyone's like, hey, contact Andrea.
Yes. I really started baking as something to occupy my time when I graduated from university because I got bored. And so I picked baking up as a hobby. And then it became into a little side hustle. And then when it got too big, I'm like, no, this isn't fun anymore. This is a business. And I don't want to be in this business. But, you know, what I did is I saw where my daughter enjoyed baking. And so she took up the baking business. So that now that's her business. And I'm an unpaid worker.
Ladies and gentlemen, how many people you would have heard say something as solid as what Andrea just said? It grew too big, and I'm not interested in it anymore. Whoa, that's when you got option. That's when you know you're doing some things right, where you have constructed yourself in a way where you're doing what you love, but you could choose to stop doing it even after it's been paying you. Woo! What are you talking? What are you talking about, people? You can do it. You can do it. Now here's Andrea. Managing it all, though. Let's talk about managing it all. Motherhood, okay, career, parenting, and so forth. Your wife. I mean, there's just so many different parts to you. How's that been, and what has been some of the things that has helped you keep managing your life well?
Well, I think the most important part is you have to visualize it.
Yeah.
You have to see and understand where it is that you are at this starting point and where you want to go. And I visualize every single day. I had a lecturer in university who would tell me, if you don't have a plan for that day, don't get out of bed.
Wow.
And so I kind of adopted that if I don't have something that I have to accomplish in that day, then why am I getting up? I don't have a purpose for that day.
Wow.
But I try to break up everything that I want to accomplish in small increments so that it can be manageable. And that's important.
Yeah.
With having the visualization, you have to be able to set them as SMART goals.
Yeah.
So, you just don't want to have these big dreams and don't have a plan, an action plan on how to accomplish it. So I even break those down further into what I call action items. So every day has a task list or a checklist, as project managers would call it. And we have action items that we tick off as we accomplish them through the day. So my typical day starts at 6 a.m. when even though I'm self-employed, my boss, I call him my boss now because my fur baby comes and get me at 6 a.m. every morning. Now, I don't know how he knows time, but 6 a.m. he's knocking on my bedroom door like, you need to get up and get to work.
Yeah.
And I need to teach him the days of the week, because on my off days, I don't need a 6 a.m. alarm to come go to work on my off days, but he doesn't know the difference between the days. He just knows 6 a.m. she needs to get up. Mm-hmm. So my unofficial boss is my fur baby. Mm-hmm. And he keeps me on track.
And that's your dog. What's the particular type of dog you have?
He's a Shih Tzu, and he's sitting right under my feet. That's his spot. So after he wakes me up and I get to work and I'm sitting at my computer and working, he snuggles underneath my feet and goes back to sleep. So he's underneath me now, snoring very loudly. I hope you can't hear him.
No, I can't. Let's talk about this. I've been watching you for a while, and you've been one of those go-getters. What's kept you being a go-getter? Because, there are some Debbie Downers out there. There are people who, they just want to throw water on your fire, right? And anything you're about, some people aren't about. And so what's kept you keep going after what you've been saying, this is what I'm going after, when others would have just simply says, for the hate that's going to come from this, it's not worth it?
Well, I think for me, I keep pressing what I call my recalibrate button. And for some people, that may be their refresh button, but I have to recalibrate and reset and go back, pray some more, and then come back to the table, because it's frustrating. And sometimes it gets depressing when you're trying to accomplish something and you have this strong vision and you have this passion, but you having challenges executing it. And I realized that God gives us visions, but he leaves out the master plan, like all the middle parts, how to get there. Like, I need that script. So I have to go back and I have to seek wise counsel from God and say, listen, I'm trying to do your will, but this piece is blind. Can you help me here? And then it also helps to have persons behind you and who supports you and who can see that vision, having a shared vision with a select group of people who can motivate you and say, listen, Andrea, I see what you're trying to accomplish. I love what you're doing. I'm going to support you in any way. Let's get this done. And that's really a good support system. And then also having very good mentors who've been on the journey, what you're trying to go on, and they can advise you and say, listen, when I went on this journey, this is what I did, and this is my results. And so they kind of tell you, okay, maybe you shouldn't do this, or maybe you shouldn't do that, and maybe this is a better way. So those mentors are key. And you keep talking about having those key persons in your life. And another thing that I love that you say over and over again, that certain persons are going to come to help you, and there's certain people that are going to come to hurt you. And I keep praying that God would keep given me the power of discernment to know who is who in my circle and who I need to be aware of. And so that's really my steps that I take.
Wow, that's so good. I'm a strong believer. Someone is assigned to help you, but someone is also assigned to hurt you. And unfortunately, Andrea, over the years, there are some people always take advantage of me, and I always feel why it's always hurting me. When you're disappointed by people's behavior, what has been the thing that's helped navigate you through the disappointment? Because people's behavior can disappoint. What has helped you navigate through people's disappointment? Their behavior that disappoints. How have you been able to navigate through those?
Well, what I focus on is I have to tell myself that everybody is not going to perform at my standard. And I think that's where my disappointment would come in. I try to hold people to this work ethic that I have. And I have to realize that not everybody is going to invest 18 hours a day or how much ever hours I put in it into building a community or building whatever it is that we're trying to do. And so I just have to accept people for who they are, what they can contribute, and realize that everybody has limitations and accept that. And everyone is different and they bring something different to the table. So my level of disappointment has kind of fizzled out to some extent because I've been more accepting of people's individuality.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. It's so important. Now, dealing with somebody who have done you wrong. We're talking managing your life today, ladies and gentlemen, with Andrea. And I want to hear Andrea's, because her perspective is just so rich and so good and so amazing. Andrea, the Bible said, mark them that cause division among you. The person that has done you wrong, how do you deal with that person specifically? I mean, they're just outright, it was wrong. I mean, you knew it, they know it, everybody knows it was wrong. I mean, and yet you confess to be Christian, and so you're hurt though. And you're feeling some kind of way. So how do you respond? How have you responded over the years?
Let me tell you what I've done when it comes to situations like that. I always take it back to the war room and I pray about it. Yeah. And I asked the Lord, why did this happen? And what he said to me, Judas had a purpose.
Yeah.
And he was still allowed to sit at the table.
Ooh.
So everybody has a purpose, but you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And when you have your enemies next to you, you can orchestrate to a certain extent their behavior.
Yeah.
But if you push them away, then you give them free rein to do you in.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how I look at it. And so, even though you may know that this person doesn't have the best intentions for you, they do have a purpose. So you don't just shun them and don't allow them to fulfill their purpose. You just have to be knowledgeable that they may not have the best intentions, but you can turn that around for your good.
Yeah. Now you got 14 siblings. It's 15 of y'all. Now I'm going to push the envelope here. Somebody had to have done you wrong as a sibling. How do you deal with sibling rivalries? How do you deal with blood? Oh my God, I can't believe that's my brother. I can't believe my sister would do that to me. What lesson would you say to people on their journey to managing themselves well to not repeat this behavior or have this happening continuously?
Man, you're trying to take all my skeletons out my closet today, man. You're supposed to leave those siblings, leave those siblings alone. But what it is for me, I look at my siblings just like how I would look at any other relationship, right? Even though someone may be your blood relative, that doesn't mean they have the best intentions for you. Yeah. And sometimes the devil uses those closest to you to do you harm. And so you just have to be aware of those situations. And those who have bad intentions for you, you can still be nice to them, but you don't have to be a phony person and act as though everything's cool. You can keep them at a distance. And I call it love you from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I deal with some of my siblings who I feel, aren't my biggest supporters.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Love them from a distance. If you're watching us this morning, I'm with Andrea Smith, and she's helping us to manage our life. You got to look at here's the deal. There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting the same result. What you want to do is you want to study how did someone who had a similar situation dealt with it to ensure that I can learn from him. That's what we're talking about today with Andrea. Now, here's the deal. I want you to check this out. We'll be back with Andrea Smith. Welcome back to Effective Living Early Morning Conversation. We have our special guest, Andrea Smith. Listen, Andrea, let's dive into this. Project management. A lot of people don't have the certification or skill set that you have. You have obviously learned how important it is to manage life and manage projects. What 3 principles would you give to our viewing audience about managing themselves well? Because a lot of people, that's where they're missing it. It's, they're not managing themselves well. What would you say?
Well, I would say to try to eliminate waste out of your life, first of all. So those things that you feel are not getting you to accomplish your goals. And Lean Agile, they talk a lot about eliminating waste and trying to streamline your processes.
Yeah.
So, for some of us, that may be excessive partying. That may be those friends that we know, hey, they don't mean us well.
Yeah.
So you have to just streamline your life to eliminate waste and stuff that's not helping you to achieve your objectives. And then I would say prioritize.
Yeah.
We all have goals that we want to accomplish, but some goals may not be as important as others.
Yeah.
So we have to prioritize those goals where we can achieve the maximum value at an earlier time. And then it's always focusing on what brings me value, what brings me joy, what brings me happiness. And so in project management, especially with SAFe and Lean principles, they talk about being customer centric and all about the customer. So in life, you're your customer.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. I'm the customer, and what's going to bring me the most value is what I focus on in my life. And that's your principles, Coach Ricardo. You talk about faith, family, fitness, finances, fun. And what's the next one I'm missing?
Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. That's it. You said the 5.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
I probably said it that fast.
Yeah.
But those principles are good principles to have.
Yeah.
And to focus on and to prioritize them. And you never skip any of them because they're all equally important.
Yeah.
But I would say that the family part, it keeps you sane because you need downtime. It's good to be a workaholic, but you need that family time, and you need to have that time with your children and your spouse and making those memories. Because at the end of the day, we're going to expire. Our project, which is our life, is going to come to an end, but we want to be able to leave a legacy with our kids and leave them with lasting and positive memories. And so we have to make time for them. Why does he want to spend time with us? Because my 25-year-old son, he's like, Mom, I don't want to be seen with you. People think that you're my girlfriend. So why does your kids want to spend time with you? I suggest you make that time for them in any way that you can.
Wow. That is so good. Andrea, let's talk about this. In managing ourselves and incorporating these behaviors, we're all aging, as you mentioned, and will expire one day. Old age, this is one of those things a lot of people aren't talking about when it comes to life management, that old age is coming. And being responsible to set yourself up in a responsible way to be able to handle old age correctly from a project management standpoint, looking at one's life from wherever they are right now. Let's just say we talk to the people that are under 40. No, let's go for 46 because I'm under 50, okay? Because I'm 46. Let's say we're talking to people that are 50 and under. What should they be mindful of in your thought, in your way, as to moving towards what we would call old age? Because a lot of people aren't thinking about old age. They're in denial. It's like it's not coming. And it is coming. And they're not making preparation. What would you say some of those preparations should be? And what are some of the mistakes you see people making in that area?
Well, I think when you think about old age, the first thing that comes to my mind is retirement. How are we planning for retirement? And when you're young, retirement is the last possible thing on your mind. You know, like you put that so far on the back burner, you can't even see it on the stove anymore.
Yeah.
But we have to be very cognizant that at some point we're going to stop working.
Yeah.
And our income is going to be cut drastically. Yeah. And we need to be able to maintain our livelihood, or at least some standard of livelihood that we've become accustomed to over the years whilst we had a high income.
Yeah.
And so, you know, young persons, they would rush out and buy the fanciest car and then be in debt to the bank for so many years. And I think our system doesn't even support young people where they would encourage you to get a mortgage.
Yeah.
You know, the banks encourage you to get a car. And then when that car has, you know, reaches age limit and it's not working anymore, they say, come back and get another car. Yeah. So you'll be getting car after car after car, and you never have any property. You never have any real assets that you can prepare for your future. And the thing about it is also when you're young, you know, every paycheck is a party check. Yeah. You know, it's not a savings check, and they don't take out that percentage that needs to be banked for savings for later on. And don't even go as far as retirement. Go to what if something happens to me and I need funds for medical expenses, yeah. You know, and then you're in a position where the family has to go and do a cookout, or, I mean, nothing's wrong with that. But I'm just saying, if you had those resources allocated, yeah, then it would help you when situations arise that you haven't planned for. So it always goes back to proper planning and taking into consideration those what ifs. Yeah. So in project management, we have what is called the known knowns, and we have what is called the unknown unknowns.
Wow.
So it's like you just don't know. Like it could happen. So you have to plan accordingly.
Wow. It could happen, and you have to plan accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to dive into that, because when we talk about effective living being a life management agency, unfortunately, I feel as though there are just too many people who are not being responsible with their lives. And I think they're going from one crisis after the next crisis after the next crisis, or one problem after another problem. And then we start to feel, oh, the devil. You know, the devil is always attacking me. Why is it only you the devil is attacking? Why, you know, I mean, you got all these people on the island. Why are you the only one always attacking? On your job, you're the only one being attacked. Or in your family, when it comes to... So being responsible, knowing what I need to know about moving forward and doing the things necessary. Let's talk about this, Andrea. You just mentioned something there, and crisis will happen. Okay, I mean, in our nation, in our world, there is pandemic. There is just things that's beyond our control. Preparing for the unexpected. Let's dive into that a little bit more, because a lot of people don't want to go there. I'm 46 years old, all right, heading towards 50, but your body starts to change. I mean, I for the longest, I didn't need no glasses, and I didn't need no glasses because I didn't thought I need no glasses. And then I went to the doctor and they said, how old are you? I said 40. And he said, well, you're going to need to go get your eyes checked. Why? I don't think I have any problem. And then like the next year, Andrea, I'm reading my Bible and I'm doing like this. And I'm going in and out, and I'm figuring, oh, Lord, what's going on? And somebody said, how old are you? I was like, 40. They said, that's when it kicks in.
Yeah.
Right? And the other day I was doing some work, and I was standing up, and my back. Oh, that's like...
I just had this conversation on LinkedIn with a gentleman yesterday, because I posted a picture with me and my son. And he said, you had this son when you were 60, and said, but you only look 16 in this picture. And I said, oh, thank you. So he said, I hope I could look as good as you when I reach 60. I said, me too.
Yeah.
So he said, well, what is your secret? I said, the secret is try to bend over. And if you could stand back up and you don't need assistance, then you're doing well. So he said, what if you bend over and you need assistance? I say, well, just get you a can of WD-40 and spray those creaks because they're going to come.
Yeah, they're going to come. That's really what I'm talking about. I just spoke with my son yesterday, and I said, hey, man, be grateful, because right now I can walk up my stairs to the second floor on my own. But there comes a time in your life getting up those stairs are not as easy as they were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing certain work and tasks around your home. The reality of it is every doctor's visit is a greater expense in your old age. You get what I'm saying? The potential of a greater expense at every doctor's visit. It's like, Andrea, let's drift there for a moment. I mean, I'm 46. Did I mention that already?
Yes.
So here's the deal. I'm like, why is it that every doctor visit moving forward now they're adding these questions, and they're like, okay, you need to do this now. You gotta go get this done, and it's all a cost. Now, I'm talking about life management. There are people who are not thinking about this. What advice are you going to say to those people when it comes to managing their lives better? Because I don't think it should be everyone else's responsibility for you to come to your aid every time, when you should be responsible in projecting what the future is going to look like, and reasonably do what you need to do to make sure you can handle the majority of your own affairs, if not all of your affairs, by yourself. What do you got to say?
Well, I think right now, this whole cost of going to the doctor is just getting crazy. It's really getting out of control. And then on top of that, the cost of insurance is even worse. It's like you want to have medical insurance, but when you evaluate it, it's covering a risk. But how likely is it that you're going to need that surgery, or you're going to need some huge medical procedure, versus paying this high premium for insurance every month? So you have to, it's like a scale. You have to just weigh it. And the sad part about it is you find that a lot of persons who opt out of having medical insurance, sometimes they end up with a medical situation.
Yeah.
And it's when you are faced with that reality that you're like, boy, I wish I had some insurance, because it'll be cheaper. But in my case, I had 2 surgeries. And one was when I had medical insurance, and the other one I didn't have medical insurance. And the one where I didn't have medical insurance, when the doctor told me I needed to have a medical procedure, I sat in his office and I started to cry. And he's like, no, it's not that serious. It's a simple procedure. It's nothing to cry about. I said, I'm not crying about the procedure. I'm crying about this money I have to go find. I said, that's what I'm crying about. Like, these days ain't about the surgery. These days about the money. So, we faced with those realities in life, but you have to have a trade-off, because insurance is getting so costly. It's like you have to choose between whether you're going to pay insurance or buy groceries. Wow. And it's a reality, and it's not anywhere. It's not different anywhere in the world. I think it's even worse in America.
Yeah. The cost is crazy, and you're right. There are times you have insurance and you end up having to pay more before. I was like, Jesus, well, why do I have insurance sometimes? But all of that, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we're aging. And my message is to get better with age. And being that I teach get better with age, then you have to be responsible. So, Andrea, before we bring our talk to a close, let's talk about some of those responsible behaviors in relation to crisis management and project management as a life first, but then crisis management as to relate to life is going to happen. And I'm not in charge of all of what happens, but my response and my preparation for the things that could happen has to be something that I'm looking at frequently, right?
Yes. Well, the first thing is prevention. Do everything that you can to prevent yourself from being involved in some crisis situation. So like you said, with fitness, we know that fitness is an excellent tool to avoid us having medical conditions that will require us being on excessive medications or even surgery. So prevention, that's the first step. Being proactive. being intentional with your health. Those are key things. And, I kind of joke about it because my sister said to me yesterday, she said, Andrea, you always talk about you want to lose weight, you want to lose weight. She said, but you're not that big. She said, you're just not as small as you used to be. And I'm like, you don't have to carry this so you don't feel it. But for me, my fitness and my health is very important. And I told my husband just a few weeks ago, I said, we're going to cut out eating this meat because I feel the changes in my body whenever we eat this meat. And I said, we're going to go vegetarian and we're going to work towards this. And he's like, well, I don't eat vegetables, so I don't know how that's going to work. And I'm like, Negro, meet me halfway. It's like, I will cook it and you will eat it and you will enjoy it. And that's what it is, because we're doing this health thing together. I'm not cooking no two separate meals. So you have to have that support system and just have an accountability partner. And so if you're married, let your spouse be your accountability partner. You guys lose weight together and let fitness happen wherever you are. We always think that, we have to join a gym in order for us to be active and be healthy. No, you don't. Get a jumping rope. We call it the skipping rope. Yeah. Go outside in the road and skip some jump rope for a half an hour. You know what I mean? You could do things, run up and down your corner, go for a walk. We have all these beautiful beaches in the Bahamas. Take a stroll on the beach. Yeah. There's so much things you can do to be active, but yet it's so easy to make the excuse and say, well, I have that call at 6:00, so I can't join exercise class today. So, that was me. I need to just slot out my 6:00 so I can join exercise class and stop making an excuse, because my church offers free exercise classes 3 days a week. So I don't need to go pay for a gym membership and don't show up to the gym. I just need to sign on virtually to the free exercise class that Evangelistic Temple offers to anybody and everybody. And so, we just need to stop making excuses. And the thing about that is, what we have to realize is life is going by. You're going to be 47 next year, whether you like it or not. So if you stop making excuses and be intentional about every aspect of your life, whether it's faith, family, fitness, finances, and I keep forgetting that last F. Right. And fun. Be intentional about those 5 key things that you keep mentioning. Then you'll see a difference in your life. And I am going to start today and make a more concerted effort to get healthy, to be more intentional with my fun, my family, my fitness, finances, and I'm so spot on with the faith, but I can do more, because you could always improve upon your faith.
Yes. Listen, I love that, Andrea. Listen, Andrea, let's talk about networking before we bring our talk to a close. You're a big networker. A lot of people don't understand the power of networking. What's been your greatest lesson you've been learning in networking lately?
Well, lately, I have been exposed to so many wonderful people from all over the world just through networking and showing up to different seminars, webinars, conferences. I try to make myself available whenever an opportunity presents itself to meet other people in the different parts of the world and find out what it is that they're doing and how they're doing it. And I've actually picked up a mentor just recently in Scotland. And so I laugh about it because I said, this only could be God. It's like, how come, I have a mentor and he's in Scotland, and then I spoke to another mentor and he's in London. Wow. And it's so important to have persons who have walked that journey that you're trying to walk, and they're guiding you and they're giving you their advice for free. There's mentors and there's counselors who are willing to give up their time for free and say, listen, this is what I did and this is how this worked for me and this is what you can do. And even as far as networking and meeting persons, a friend of mine from Nigeria, she told me about an opportunity to apply for a scholarship for a Agile certification. And she said, Andrea, just do it, just apply, see what happens. And I emailed and I said, I'm interested in this scholarship opportunity, and I won the scholarship. Yeah. And so now I'm studying for my Safe 5 Agilist certification, and that's something that I got as a scholarship. So networking is very important, and I try to make myself available to as many persons who would want to get advice or mentorship from me, because I feel as though I have a lot of information and knowledge about project management, and I willingly share it. I freely share it. And even as far as persons who are interested in getting certifications, I talk to them about different certification tracks and what this certification means and how it can help them with their career. But it's just opening up yourself to opportunities. That's what networking is all about, being open to opportunities and allowing those blessings to come into your life.
Wow. Andrea, tell our viewing audience how they can follow you, connect with your platform and the services you guys offer.
Well, I didn't say it in the beginning, but I am the founder and owner of Creative Minds Project Development and Consultation Company, which was the company that birthed the Bahamas Project Management Community, which is a community of practice for persons who are project managers or those who are interested in joining the profession. We are committed to a continuous learning platform where we encourage persons to come and network with us, join us at our meetups, and we provide opportunities not only to network, but you also have opportunities to join a study group that we're talking about. And we have information about current industry trends and best practices. So we keep you in the loop about what's going on in project management everywhere around the world. And you can reach us through Facebook, Bahamas Project Management Community. We also have a meetup page. Just search Bahamas Project Management Community. Everything is Bahamas Project Management Community. So once you search for us, you'll find us. We also have a YouTube channel, Creative Minds Projects. So we're on YouTube. And we have Twitter. We have all kinds of social media platforms. Once you start searching, you'll find us. Even search my name. I searched my name the other day and I'm like, wow, this is a huge digital footprint. My daughter started counting the videos. She said, oh, you have this much videos on YouTube and you don't have that many followers. And I'm like, not yet, but hopefully persons will subscribe to our channel and follow us, because my daughter is like, she is the YouTube guru right now. She's like, Mommy, you need to get your followers going, because
the numbers ain't impressive.
No, she said, you have all these videos, but you don't have that much followers.
This generation, man, they'll call you out too, right?
I know.
Hey, but listen, thank you so much for all that you do. You're a tremendous blessing, and you always bring just fresh content, and your ability to express yourself in the coolest way has always been a blessing. So, Andrea, thank you again for joining us this morning. Make it a great day.
Thank you.
Hey guys, listen, Effective Living is having a fitness boot camp that's fast approaching. Go to our website, register today. I would love to work out with you. It's called Effective Living Boot Camp. Oh my goodness, it's a fitness boot camp. And we're going to do this together. We're going to have fun. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, make sure you register, be a part of it. Connect with me today and be a part of a growing movement of people who are deciding to take control of their lives. How are they doing that? They're creating the life that they desire. We call it creating a life you don't need a vacation from.